Get yourself a cup of tea because today's video is going to be a long one. So today I'm answering some of your questions because something pretty huge happened on Saturday. I hit 100,000 subscribers. I can't get my head around it. That is so many people. I remember this time last year at Christmas hitting 10,000 subscribers and just being over the moon and being so happy because that was like the ultimate goal for me. I did it! I'm so happy. That's maybe a small feat to some, but for me it's huge. So thank you to each and every one of you who subscribed. It's a massive deal. 10,000 people, that's a lot of people. So we did it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That was like my goal for the year and I achieved it. And yeah, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. So yay, I'm so happy. And it's just mad to me that now I've reached 100,000 and that is so many people. I can't get my head around how many people that is. So thank you so much for subscribing. It really means the world. I'm so excited for the future and for this channel, and I have so many ideas and things I want to do this year, and oh, I'm so excited. And yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you because it is really, yeah, it means a lot to me. Even though I know that 100,000 still is kind of small on YouTube, it's a pretty huge deal to me, so yeah. And as a thank you, I mentioned on Instagram, but I'm doing a sale on my ebooks, so you can get 10% off. All you have to do is enter the code 100, and I'll leave the link to my ebooks down below. And yeah, so it makes it only $9. I mean, they're already very cheap at $10, but I just wanted to say thank you. And yeah, go check it out, use the code, all the details are down below. Also, if I don't finish answering all of your questions, because I think there was maybe like 70 of them, if I don't answer all of them, then I will finish answering some of them over on our vlog channel. Alex and I, my boyfriend and I, have a vlog channel if you didn't know, so go subscribe, and one of the next videos will be us finishing the questions. But let's get into it. The first question. So the first question is from Cosmic Colette. Go check her channel out, she's great. Yay, congrats, I want to know what the best and hardest parts of being a YouTuber is. So I got a lot of questions about being a YouTuber, how to become a YouTuber, etc. I think that the hardest part of being a YouTuber is getting hateful, mean comments. And I am someone who's actually really good at brushing these type of comments off, usually, if they don't mean much. But the comments that I find hard are the comments over on our vlog channel where people comment on our relationship, because it's a very personal subject and it honestly has absolutely nothing to do with anyone watching. It's really hard for you to understand someone's relationship through a video online. You see like a tiny little snippet of someone's day, and that does not equate to reality or what their relationship or their lives are. And it can be easy. I know I've watched people online and I've just thought I know everything about them, and I think that you think you've got them summed up, but you just don't. And there is, when you're on the other side of it, you'll understand that there's always other things going on and there's more to it, and it's just really disrespectful and rude, honestly, to think that you know more about their relationship than they do and to comment on it even. It's just, I don't like talking about it because I don't like to feed the drama and feed people who say those types of things, but I always get over it because I think that it's normally just a projection of something that's going on in their life and they're just projecting it onto mine. But that can be hard sometimes and that does get me down, but that's the only thing that I think that is hard, because otherwise the best parts of being a YouTuber is just I get to live my dream job and I get to live my dream life, share exactly what I want, be self-employed, make the videos that I want to make, talk about what I want to talk about. And I think the best thing is just helping so many people. The amount of messages I get from people saying that I've helped them go vegan, I've helped them, you know, overcome their eating disorder or help them declutter their life, etc. Like, that blows my mind, because I'm just a very normal, ordinary girl online, just sharing my experiences and my growth over time, and that being vulnerable like that and sharing that inspires other people to change their lives in a positive way. And yeah, that's pretty amazing, and I encourage all of you to do it. Get on YouTube, share your experiences, be vulnerable, share your strengths and your weaknesses, and other people will relate. We're all very similar. So yeah, we're off to a very rambly start. I need to get on. So I got a lot of questions, as I said, about how to become a YouTuber, beginner's tips to being a YouTuber. So Abigail asked tips on how you can too live the vegan dream, and what would you say to yourself if you could go back in time when you first started YouTube, from Sophie. And what are your tips for a person who wants to start a YouTube channel and writing a blog, from Xmanjat. In general, I think the biggest tip I have is to just start. Don't think about it too much. Just get on YouTube, get on, you know, writing your blog, whatever platform you want to use. Do it and don't hesitate. I hesitated for maybe 10 years. I've been watching YouTube channels and being obsessed with YouTube since I was about 15 or 16, and I'm 26 now. So when it first started, and I hesitated, and I didn't start a YouTube channel since 2 years ago. So I wish I'd done it earlier. And the next thing is to upload regular content. Upload content that you enjoy watching and that you enjoy making. Don't feed into like doing the most popular thing or something you think other people like. Be your true authentic self and upload content that you enjoy. Yeah, be authentic, be real, be honest, be vulnerable, share your experiences, be open, and you'll be surprised how many people can relate to you on that. On a more specific level, try and have really thoughtful thumbnails. Depending on the type of content you're doing. For me, for example, I for the longest time didn't really worry too much about thumbnails, and more recently I've been trying to make my thumbnails more, you know, pretty and attractive, and that makes a huge difference. Have good titles, and yeah, also research. I love YouTube, and it's a great thing because when I'm watching YouTube videos, that's kind of research, because you're seeing what other people are doing, you're learning, you're understanding what YouTube is about. Or if you're going to be on a blog, read other people's blogs and understand the world, understand, you know, everything about it. And I think the more you understand about it, the better you'll become at it. It's good to research and understand what platform you're using and what, you know, what job you're doing. I also have found recently having a schedule, so having days that I'm uploading and times that I'm recording, has really helped to maintain consistency and motivation. Gaia Sanjeev Ganesh. Okay, congrats. I would like to know what your current hair care routine is. I did get a lot of questions about if I was doing no poo still, my hair care routine. So because I am in Brighton now, the water is very hard comparatively to Cornwall. I am now doing low poo, so I'm no longer doing no poo. I am working on getting a filter for the shower that will make the water not hard, but I haven't got that yet. And I'm just using a sheer moisture shampoo, which is low poo. It's got no sulfates, no parabens, no anything. It's a really great brand if you're looking into low poo. And I'm washing my hair like once a week. So I'm still implementing, you know, not washing my hair as often, and I'm not putting any product on my hair, but I am using a shampoo because the hard water situation, yeah, it's not easy. And now I feel you girls who've been messaging me when I was doing those no poo videos saying, I can't do it, it's not working, I have hard water. I really do relate, and it's something that I'm gonna figure out, hopefully. And when I've got a system down with hard water, I can help you all out, because I can tell you guys what works with hard water. So watch this space. Furfurgetsfit.tiu says, when you quit alcohol, did you have problems with cravings or wanting a drink out of habit? If so, what did you do to keep yourself motivated to stay sober? So I would say that I'm the sort of person that when I make a decision and I do it. I'm very, I don't know, I'm just all or nothing type of person. So when I made a decision to quit alcohol, that was it, I was doing it. And if you've watched my videos about it, I had 1 year in 2016 when I said I'm not drinking as much anymore, I'm just gonna have maybe 1 or 2 drinks when I'm with friends, but I'm really not drinking anymore. And then last year I quit alcohol completely. So I had a little bit of a transition, and all that I learned when I was drinking occasionally in 2016 was that every time I did drink occasionally, I didn't enjoy it, and I felt the temptation to get drunk, and I just thought I'm the sort of person who can't have just one drink, so I just need to quit it altogether. Everyone's different though, but that's how I am. And I now really don't crave drinking alcohol. I will have the occasional sip of Alex's beer or wine just because I want to try it, and I'm like, oh, what does this taste like? Is this a good one? And I've noticed that I don't enjoy the taste of alcohol anymore. It's really weird. I really don't crave it. The only thing that I will crave will be like the camaraderie and the kind of having fun with others. I do feel a little bit left out sometimes because other people are drinking and I'm like the odd one out, but that's just kind of a social scenario that's a little bit awkward, but I've kind of got over. I was motivated because I found a reason and I was dedicated, and if you're struggling to be motivated, then maybe you have a more serious problem with alcohol than I did, because I was just binge drinking. Maybe you need to sit down and really think about it, and maybe you need to speak with somebody. It's so different depending on the person. So I also got a lot of questions about minimalism and how to become a minimalist, and what's your favourite thing about being a minimalist, from Caporal Mamandine. My favourite thing about being a minimalist, I would say, is just not caring as much about stuff and owning things, and the pretension around owning things and having things, and that kind of idea that I used to hold so highly. The way I looked, the way I dressed, the things I owned, the amount of money I had, I held that far too highly in my head, and I really don't care. I have let go of all the ideas of looking a certain way, behaving a certain way, and owning things, and, you know, one day having a nice house or having a nice car. I've kind of let go of all those ideas, and now I've been able to focus on my passions and my dreams and helping people and doing things that I enjoy, and that is my favourite part, and that is the biggest thing that's come out of minimalism. I did do a video recently on things that happened when I became a minimalist, if you want to check that out. Julie L. Parks, I appreciated your recent video about being more relaxed in what you eat, and you're still young, so it's okay that it's more about the animals right now, but I did like counting on you for great whole food, no oil recipes. Do you still agree that no oil is healthier? Weren't you okay without it? Regardless, I'm a fan and will continue to be, just wondering. There are lots of, it's a hard question, because the point of my recent video about why I quit diets was the fact that I just think restricting anything is not a good idea. I think that when you hold certain foods as being good and certain foods as being bad, certain foods being healthy and not healthy, it just creates a stressful relationship around food in your head. And for me, it made me too obsessed about healthy food. Obviously, I recovered from my eating disorder years ago, and like the physical elements of my eating disorder long gone, but I still held on to obsessions and disordered eating habits. So thinking that certain foods were better than other foods, and kind of following certain diets and ways of eating. And I have, as you guys know, recently let go of all those ideas, because the reality is nobody can stick, well, I don't know anybody who can stick to a 100% whole foods diet. It's not realistic. It would be very boring. And I was still eating, like you say that, weren't you okay without it? I was still eating oil. Like, I was regularly eating out. I was eating things like crisps and popcorn and vegan cheese, and like a lot of my food I was eating had oil in it. So it was just like a weird contrast, where I would kind of sometimes have junk food, as I called it, and sometimes have healthy food. And I just think I needed to let go of those ideas and just focus on eating what made me feel good and not really caring so much. It's a tricky one, because if you choose to eat without oil and that's fine, and you don't feel stressed about it, then fine. But I personally wouldn't recommend or tell anybody to restrict any food, because I just know my experience with it, especially if you've come from an eating disorder. I know in my experience it only created ideas and hierarchies with food that wasn't beneficial for me. And obviously I don't eat animal products for ethical reasons. It's not going to hurt you having some oil, and it's really important to let go of the hierarchy around foods, and I really want to promote that on my channel, that no food is off limits and all food has its value. Okay, so I also got a lot of questions about how to go vegan, beginners tips for veganism similar to minimalism. I would say number one is to educate yourself, learn why veganism is important now in this day and age. I will link some documentaries that I highly recommend. Forks Over Knives, Earthlings and Cowspiracy are amazing documentaries. Also Land of Hope and Glory, and I watched one yesterday. If you've not got much time, I saw one by the Lad Bible yesterday, which was really great, and it was only 17 minutes long, and it really summed up everything. It wasn't very gory, it wasn't gory at all actually, and it summed up the environment, health, and the ethical reason behind going vegan. So I would really educate yourself, because that is the thing that's going to make you understand why veganism is important as a movement, why it is fundamental essentially in this day and age if we want to have a future for our children, and if we want to stop animal abuse. And don't go into veganism trying loads of new foods and making it an extreme change from your diet currently. Try making your favorite meals and your favorite foods and just make them vegan. So if you love spaghetti bolognese, make a vegan spaghetti bolognese. If for breakfast you love scrambled egg on toast, make scrambled tofu on toast. I have a recipe for it. And yeah, if you Google any recipe and just put vegan, there will be so many YouTube videos, so many blog posts with recipes. So just recreate your favorite recipes and don't overcomplicate it. It is, I know that it's a change and it's difficult, but don't overcomplicate it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself if you mess up, and just, you know, keep aiming towards veganism if that's your goal, and don't be hard on yourself if you mess up. And as long as it's your aim and it's your goal, then it's no big deal if you accidentally have some cheese, or if you know, you succumb to a craving. Just keep moving forwards. So Random Little Redhead asked, would you ever bring out your own merchandise? I don't know that I'd bring out merchandise, because I'd find that a bit, I don't know why anyone would want merchandise from me, but I do want to bring out my own products of some sort. So I've always loved the idea of making my own skincare, because I make my own skincare and I've got a whole ebook on it, so I'd love to sell that. And also I would love to also, maybe, I've talked about this with Alex, about making some kind of line of low waste products that the money would go to charity, to like an animal sanctuary, like tote bags or reusable cups, that type of thing. But I don't know if I'd ever do that, we'll see. So I've got another question about diet from Kath Tinkler. How did you break free from restrictive diet culture that is so ingrained in society today and learn to eat so abundantly and intuitively? All my love, from Cape Town. So if you haven't seen the diet video, go check it out, because I definitely talk about it more in detail there. But I think the way that I got out of it was a few amazing inspirational women on social media, who I'll link below, who really talked about diet culture and how it was even ingrained in the vegan society, like the vegan community online. And I think that I realized in hindsight that I had replaced one type of diet culture. So when I was in an eating disorder, I was restricting carbohydrates and kind of doing, I don't know, stupid workouts that didn't actually do anything, and restricting all week and then binging at the weekend. And then I found veganism and I was following other diets. Veganism helped me so much to overcome my eating disorder, and it made me understand that I could eat a lot of food and not restrict. But I learned new ideas around, you know, I went from low carb to high carb and restricting fat in a way and thinking fat was the devil. If you have any ideas around food being bad, or certain foods being good or bad, and restricting them, then that is diet culture. It's restricting yourself, and I just think that it's not mentally healthy. And I think a part of being healthy is mental health too. Obviously some people, and like loads of people who I follow and I love watching their YouTube channels, they choose to eat a certain way, and maybe that's because that makes them feel their best, and that's fine. But for me, restricting a certain food mentally was too stressful. And I think that if you're recognizing that, and if you're finding yourself being restricted and having, I don't know, having restrictive thoughts, then you need to break free, and you need to not have any foods that are scary to you. You need to not have any foods that are off limits, and you need to let it go, and you'll be fine. You're not gonna gain loads of weight. You're not gonna, not that that's even bad if you did. If you do gain loads of weight, then who cares? And you're not gonna suddenly become really unhealthy. You're not gonna suddenly like break out in loads of spots and die. I don't know. I think that when I went traveling, I really learned that nothing bad was gonna happen if I was eating oily food every day. Because when I was traveling, I was eating a lot of oily food every day and a lot of unhealthy food every day, and nothing changed, nothing happened to me. So I think that that really taught me a lot. How long is it since you became vegetarian before you became vegan? From Ariana Halland. So I never was vegetarian before vegan. I went vegan overnight pretty much in 2014, so it's been 4 years. So wholesome habits. I'm still living with my parents as I'm a teenager. How should I convince my parents that being vegan is a good idea and I'm not just going on a diet or finding excuses to eat less? I have super supportive parents, but sometimes they care too much for me and think this isn't the best option. By the way, I love your videos and you inspired me to restart my healthy eating Instagram journey. Obviously, I can't speak for your parents because I don't know your background, and if they're worried about you eating less, do you have a background of an eating disorder? Have you suffered with anorexia in the past? Because maybe that's why they're worried, and they're worried that veganism could be another avenue of disordered eating for you. So you have to question that and realize that your parents are just out for you. They love you and they care about you, and they don't want you to be doing anything that's harmful. But also, I would probably just ask them if they would watch some documentaries with you. If your motivation for going vegan is the ethical side of things, ask if they will watch a few documentaries about you know, veganism and why it's harmful to the animals, and maybe watch a documentary about how it's harmful to the environment, so that they can really understand it. There's so many YouTube videos on here about how to talk to your parents about being vegan. I will link some below because I've definitely watched a few before. So any questions that they have will be answered. I know that there's one from Bonnie Rebecca that she did where she covered loads of aspects of veganism. So maybe that's a good one because she answers questions that a lot of people who aren't vegan ask. So I think education is important, making your parents understand, because a lot of the time it's just because they don't get it. That it's this new idea and they're thinking, well, what the hell is veganism? She's gonna be not able to eat most of the food that I already feed her. This is crazy. So you just need to educate and help them understand where you're coming from. So I think this is going to be the last question because I have already gone on a lot. It's from Matilda Coelho. Do you miss anything about your old life, like foods, comfort habits, or even people that could not understand you? By the way, I absolutely love your channel. I've tried so many of your delicious and insanely tasty recipes. Oh, thank you. Okay, so no, I don't miss anything about my old life. I think that life is all about growing, progressing, changing, and that is a wonderful thing. And I am so thankful for my past life and my past experiences because they've got me to where I am today, and I've experienced those things for a reason, and all elements of it. So my eating disorder, binge drinking, and being a shopaholic, all those things and much more have taught me so much about life now. And obviously that happens with everybody. When you grow up and you get older, you learn from your past experiences, and I love doing that. It's my favorite thing. I absolutely love growing and learning from things that I've done that have maybe not been the best, and things that have been huge mistakes for me. I think that that's powerful, and I don't miss it at all because I'm happier than I've ever been at this current moment in my life. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up all the questions. I hope I answered enough. I don't know how long this video was. So as I said, I did save some of the questions and more kind of directed to Alex and I for our channel, or Alex and me. Is it Alex and me or is it Alex and I? Me. Alex and me. We're gonna answer the rest of them on our channel because there were quite a lot that were more related to just the two of us and stuff. So yeah, go subscribe. And thank you again for 100,000 subscribers. It is just the most mind-blowing, amazing thing, and I'm so happy and excited. And yeah, don't forget to check out my ebook sale if you're interested in that as well. And I will see you on Wednesday for another video. Bye.